You wrote an article about reshaping the defensive line in 2025. What have your thoughts been? Take us through that article.
Yeah, listen, I think this defensive line is I don't want to say they're not being talked about enough because I think at least locally people understand that that group has a chance to really be special. But it is the strength of the team, and I think maybe if I'm pinpointing one person, I don't know if enough was said about the fact that Malik Collins is, a guy that was as he was dominant last year for San Francisco. I think he was top 10 in pass rush win rate, according to some of the advanced metrics out there from the interior of a defense last year. So, like with him, with Mason Graham, who, yeah, we're forecasting a little bit that he's going to be a dominant player. But when you take somebody number 5 overall, I think you do sort of assume they're going to be a dominant player. And then I've seen a lot of good stuff from both Isaiah McGuire and Alex Wright throughout camp, where they're constantly in the backfield, they're constantly causing problems. They each would have a couple of sacks by now. If they kept those at training camp, obviously they sort of back off and let the quarterback do his thing because they don't want to ruin the play completely, so they get a good rep and they can't hit the quarterback. But yeah, like I think both those guys have looked really good, and they're sort of going to be they'll be obviously rotating there. We've seen Shelby Harris make a couple plays, including a couple sacks. I think Joe Tryon-Shoyinka has flashed in some spots. So I just think this group is really deep. The fact that they've kind of embraced this Jim Schwartz aggressive style of play, they're more attacking now. It's not going to be, I think when they brought in Dalvin Tomlinson, it was more about like, can we get a space eating guy in the middle of the defense? Now I think they're more leaning into, hey, let's attack every single snap and see if we can get after the quarterback and cause problems. And I think they have the right guys here to do that, including Mason, who played in more of like a read and react style at Michigan, but was constantly in the backfield even doing that because he was so good. So I'm excited for this group. I think Miles, we've paid so much attention over the years to who's opposite of Miles. I think the fact that he's next to, he's going to move around like he always does, but the fact that he's going to line up, especially next to Mason Graham, who can do who can maybe draw some attention of his own and free Miles to do some things. I think the sky is absolutely the limit for this group. I think the defense goes as that group goes, and as the defense goes, I think that's going to sort of be the thing that this team falls back on to keep them in games. Because I do think the offense, while it will be better than next year, is probably still going to struggle at times to produce points, and so they're going to need that defense to sort of keep things close.